Terror never rests in peace. Today, we look at Neca Holothon exclusive Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers figure. Quick backstory. This is actually the first Halloween movie I'd seen in theaters at about 10 years old at the old drive-ins. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember the drive-ins. So it always left a mark on me. It actually piqued my interest in Halloween. I knew who Michael Myers was at the time. But I just didn't really know the story. I didn't know any, But once I seen this movie in theaters, I started backtracking, started looking at the older ones. I remember renting part 5 right before part 4, so I really didn't know, the orders, or and I fell in love with the franchise after that. Then I was kind of caught up by the time H2O came out. But excuse the voice. I actually had this figure for a week. I've been wanting to open it since it was my first film Halloween, seeing it in theaters. I wanted to make it a momentous occasion for myself, as my first figure review as well. So as soon as I seen the Toy Fair sneak preview of it, I knew I had to grab it. I mean, anything Michael Myers, I'm getting. I love all horror movies, don't get me wrong. I love Jason, Freddy, all the main guys, slasher films. I'm a big slasher film guy. But Michael's number one. If I had to get rid of all those figures, keep one set, someone said you only have one franchise to collect, it'd definitely be Michael Myers. What you'll see on this channel with my figure reviews is I'm not the type of guy that buys everything, to review it. I just buy what I like. A lot of people, they get obsessed with having to be the first, having to have everything. I don't really care. I personally just keep the same scale. I like to collect 1/10 scale. 1/10 scale is pretty much all I care about. And I know eventually, like if there's not a figure that's 1/10 scale, they'll eventually come out with one. So I'm just a patient man when it comes to my collection. Try to streamline as much as possible because I have a lot of kids, got bills to pay. Don't have a lot of money like a lot of people out there. But just trying to get my figure reviews in, my first reactions in of the figure. Just so you guys to help anybody out there, who's looking forward to getting the figure, because I know how it is when you don't have it, and so you just look at videos to try to see, oh, what can I, like just to see the details of it, see all the accessories and whatnot. So without further ado, let's get into open this bad boy. Packaging. Halloween, Curse of Michael Myers. Terror never rests in peace. Look at the side. Typical Neca Ultimate line packaging. Here's the back. Beautiful. Beautiful sculpt from what I see on the packaging. Beautiful lighting. Great job, Neca. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Let's move this back a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty gorgeous. On the bottom, if you guys want the barcode. The thing about Neca barcodes is they're a third-party company, so you could get the barcode, but the only problem is that the stores will say they're not in stock, even if they are in stock. So, McFarlane is kind of easier to get those ones, with the barcode, because it can read that it's in store. But for some reason, since Neca's a third party, it doesn't work that way. So let's open the package up. Classic. Looks like it's the hospital scene, even though it should have the sword, not that. What's fascinating about this too is it comes with accessories from both the producer's cut and the standard edition of this movie. Top right there, 17 and up. So if you're 16, you can't buy this. This guy's out the package. Before I get started, I just wanted to give a shout out to my boy Tim. I was actually trying to hunt this guy for like about a week. It was in another city that's close to my city, and I had seen they posted that Holothon was there. I couldn't make it there. And then I was going in and out my Target literally for that whole week. Couldn't find it. Obviously, you know how karma works. And the first day I say, you know what, I'm not going to this Target today. I was sitting there, and my friend Tim hits me up and says, "Hey man, they got a couple here," and he bought one for himself. I said, "Oh man," I jetted right to the store, got it. So shout out to Tim for hooking me up or letting me know that it was out. And not a lot of people do that. So back to the review. Out of the package, figure looks amazing. This figure actually has a lot of great accessories from the movies. Again, from both the producer's cut and the standard edition of the movie. As you can see, like the separate head. This is from when Tommy Doyle was beating Michael with the metal with the pipe on his face, and it was kind of like flashback. So it wasn't really, you know, he didn't look like this or anything in any sort of way. It was more of like it was like kind of like a flashy scene, and you kind of see his head getting hit and all this crud was on his face. So that's a cool detail from Neca. Don't know if it's like really necessary, but hey, the more the merrier, right? And it comes with a plethora of hands. I mean, so many hands. I love that they have the burn effect from the movie as well. You can see all the little fine details in the hands. See this is a change of color. The moles will be awesome. They have the Curse of Thorn, but I know that's too much to ask. But you know, that's pretty decent right there. It's awesome. It comes with 5 hands. Obviously each to hold a weapon a certain way. It looks like it's the axe one. You know, a few different ones. One thing that's kind of crazy, or not crazy, but a little question mark is we got 2 knives. Don't know why we need 2, but they bought 2 of the exact duplicate knives. We got the crowbar when he killed John Strode and the washer dryer scene where he blew his head up. That's the standard edition. The axe when he killed Mrs. Strode with the sheets. This is from the one that came out in theaters. It's the long knife he used to kill the doctors, Dr. Wynn and all them, before they went back to the producer's cut. When I seen this item, I didn't know what it was. I said, "What is that?" And this is how I knew they were looking at producer's cut stuff as well, because these are Tommy Doyle's runes from the movie where he cast a spell on Michael, and Michael stopped attacking him because of the Curse of Thorn. Wish I could get that in focus a little better, but I'm sorry if I can't, guys. But yeah, it's pretty much so you could just put him on the floor next to Michael if you want. Came with some candles. It's kind of cool. I don't know if it's a specific candle. I'm sure it is because it's Neca. I mean, they're paying attention to detail a lot. Also, this is the needles that Tommy used. This is the drug Tommy used at the end of the standard one. At first, I was thinking maybe they have holes back here. You can stick it, but now there's no holes back there to stick them with it, which is fine. Like I said, when you have these accessories, they're not always meant to be an action accessory. You could always just have them laying around, around the figure, and people who are true fans will understand. And it also has this awesome flat mask from the end of the original standard version before the producer's cut. So you can have him just sitting there looking like his mask is flat. I don't know why they don't do that more. Like, I would love to have one of these when it came to Halloween Kills and he had his mask on the floor. That'd been awesome too. But like I said, it's awesome. Neca's awesome. I know a lot of people, nitpicking and they can't stand Neca a lot, but I have no problem with Neca. The only thing I wish is that this pumpkin, would light up. I have I have every other Michael Myers figure, and they all pretty much light up except for this one and the part 2, I think, that has the skull inside. Another great detail is this right here, where the kids were trying to terrorize them because they lived in the Myers house. That's perfect, man. And this thing is plastic. It's not cardboard. It's not some kind of, flimsy thing. It's pretty solid. And the Strode Realty sign, great touch. You can stick that on there. Boom. Even though I don't get, like, you sold the house, you're the realty company, why would the sign still be up in the first place? Yeah, I don't get it. But you know, that's just movies back in the 90s. No one really thought about what would make sense or not. But yeah, I love this figure, man. The sculpt, you could even see his eyes. His eyes are like wide open. I wish I could focus a little bit better on it. But yeah, you can see his eyes just looking really crazy. You know, like the old Michael Myers way. This was played by George P. Wilbur. I think the producer's cut was George P. Wilbur totally, and then when they did the reshoots, they had another guy playing Michael. His name escapes me, and he played Michael for a few scenes, and that's why when you see him in the hospital scene, he's like really, really skinny, and George P. Wilbur was kind of a thicker guy at this point, because George P. Wilbur played him twice. He played him also in part 4. But yeah, man, this figure looks awesome, man. I cannot wait to display this guy. Yeah, it was worth the wait. And now I'm hoping that we get the whole Thorn series, you know, part 4. Maybe in a part 4 we get the head wrap Michael. Maybe a part 5 we get the unmasked Donald Shanks Michael. You know, that'd be awesome. Yeah, there's nothing much to say, but it looks pretty accurate to the movie. It's kind of hard to see it when you're in photos, because I would see people make videos on this figure and you can't tell the detail, but when you come up really close to it in actual, like, real life, you can see the speckles of all the detail. You know, it's gorgeous. It's just straight gorgeous figure. And I am so excited that that Neca's finally giving Michael his proper due with these figures, because we've just been stuck with the same part 1s, part 2s, the new trilogy, obviously David Gordon Green's trilogy. But I've been excited to get the originals. Hopefully we get an H2O, Resurrection. I get those movies aren't that great, and that's fine. But the looks, I'm just into the Michael Myers look in general. I think this is a nice figure, and anybody who wants to pick this up should check Targets. I think Haulathon starts on the 11th, which is this coming Friday. But they were just dishing out the shippers earlier. My Target is horrible with shippers, so I had to literally wait for them to put it inside the section for NECA. And they finally did it, and I couldn't be happier. I thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoy my content. This is my first video, so forgive me if I'm not, you know, like I said, I'm coming off of a nice little allergy cold, if you say allergy attacks. So, you know, maybe my next video will be a little better. Next, I'll show you some screenshots with it in action. And I hope you guys enjoy it, and good luck and good hunting out there. And I hope you guys find it if you're interested. Peace.